In the toward the end of the '60s, is that when the rumors about you being dead surfaced? Do you remember that? Do you remember?
Yeah.
Remember how that?
Yeah.
Remember how that started? What were your feelings about that?
What happened? Yeah, my feelings.
The gist of the theory is that after an argument during a Beatles recording session on November 9th, 1966, Paul McCartney sped off in his car only to be decapitated in an auto accident when he lost control of his vehicle. The UK security service MI5 advised the band to find a replacement, for they feared that if the news of Paul's death got out, mass hysteria would spread among Beatles fans, leading to civil unrest and possible mass suicide.
It was a bit sort of old hat anyway, all wearing leather gear, and we decided we didn't want to look sort of ridiculous just going on, because more often than not, sort of too many people would laugh. It was just stupid. We didn't want to sort of appear as a gang of idiots. And Brian suggested that we just sort of wore ordinary suits, so we just got what we thought were quite good suits.
Nothing really. I think the main changes are in people's attitudes to you.
How?
I don't know. But it's people who change rather than you. You know, we feel exactly the same, really. Got a new suit though.
But you've made a film since then, and you just finished it.
Yeah.
Why did you make a film?
Well, it's a logical step, isn't it? And I believe it's quite lucrative. I believe.
Anyway, someone else does it.
Yeah, we were asked to do it, and we said yeah. And Alan Owen wrote it, and we changed it, and we're all.
It's called A Hard Day's Night.
Yeah, sometimes. Especially when it's very obvious that somebody wants the kind of, you can tell what people expect to be told. You know, when they've sort of read it in a book somewhere, what the answer is, and they just want to get it down on tape. You just know what the answer is anyway. Sometimes you do that. It's just.
There's nothing more to be read into it than there is in the lyrics of any children's song, Sparky. It's the same kind of thing.
It's a bit too controlled, because you suddenly, you want to go and do something and somebody says, oh, no, subsection B, clause A, you can't do that, And you say, well, why not? Because I'm human being and that, and haven't I got my rights? I said, well, yes, but you're not allowed to do that. He said, well, if it doesn't interfere with anyone, it must be okay. And they said, sorry, it still isn't, So people have suddenly, I think a lot of people have twigged that this, they've shut themselves in a bit,
Paul, how often have you taken LSD?
About 4 times.
And where did you get it from?
So, if I was to say where I got it from, it's illegal and everything, it's silly to say. I really didn't want to say anything, because if I had my decision, if I had it my way, I wouldn't have told anyone, because I'm not trying to spread the word about this. But the man from the newspaper is the man from the mass media, I'll keep it a personal thing.
Me too.
I just laughed it off, but it was a little bit strange because people did start looking at me like,
Right.
is it him or a very good double?
Well, that was the idea. That was the other part of it, that there was a guy who looked like you taking your place.
No, well, this is him.
Yeah.
Everything. It was just all the attention, the media, it was all Beatles until the Beatles just drove us crazy.
So when did George Harrison sort of break through as an identity on
1966. Well, I mean, he was always in there. George Harrison, whoever the real one is, was always there, really. But 1966 was when I sort of woke up out of my dream.
What made you wake up?
Well, a number of things. The experiences that we were having, and one experience which I don't really like to talk about.